If you take a look at my recent videos, you will very quickly realize just how much I have been enjoying using Svelte. I personally think it is a phenomenal framework and I have been absolutely loving using it. But the main reason is not Svelte itself. Svelte itself is fantastic. The lack of the virtual DOM, the clean and intuitive simple syntax, which I know I'm in the minority on this, but I think is actually going to get even better with Svelte 5 and runes and all that stuff. The speed, the performance, just how clean, simple, and easy it is to use. We've all heard it, we all know it. Svelte is just fantastic. But the reason why I've fallen in love with it and the reason why I'm using it so much and all my projects are now heavily dependent on it is because of SvelteKit. SvelteKit, the meta framework, is phenomenal. It is the best meta framework I have ever used by a mile. I absolutely love it. And rather than just listing off a bunch of reasons and trying to tell you some stuff in just word form, I wanted to actually show you me adding a feature to my app in SvelteKit and show you just how good the end-to-end, front-end to back-end, full-stack experience really is, and just how damn good these applications can really be. So the feature I want to implement here is going to be a way for us to set one of these images to be the primary image for this product. Within my admin page for my product management system here, we can go ahead and we could delete one of these pictures. So if I delete this, it's gone. We'll go ahead and upload another picture here. Let's add this in here. Sure, that works. We're gonna go ahead and add this in here. There we go. We have another image right in here. And then if we go to our products page, you're gonna see this is the primary just because it's first, and then these two are attached to the product here. So we're able to manage our products from the back end. But what I wanna do is I wanna make it so that this guy right here can be set to be the primary image so that it won't just default to the first one I created, and I can set what I want the primary thumbnail to be. So in order to implement this feature, I think I want to start with the backend. Right now we just have a delete function, and I'm going to create the endpoint to mark it as a favorite. So, or mark it as primary, whatever we want to call it. So if we go in here into our code base, the way I have this set up is the page.svelte, which is handling this stuff right here. Within my admin page, it's under images. We have admin, products, my first product, which is the product ID, and then images. I'm not going to go too deep into all the file-based routing stuff here. We're doing deep dives on this whole series that I'm building right now, so I'll get really deep into how I did the routing and stuff later. But for right now, just know that within this page.svelte, we have access to the product ID, and the stuff we're controlling is everything right here. So these two images, this little box, and the rest of this is out of scope, and we don't have to worry about it. So within our page.server, we have two actions right now. We can delete the product and we can create a new product. I'm going to go ahead and do another one, and I'm going to do mark primary. So that'll be our new root. We're going to say this is async. We're going to pass in request because we're going to need to get some data out of it. And we're going to do this and that. So now that we've got this stuff set up, the first thing we want to do is we want to get some data from our request. SvelteKit is very close to just natural web standards and just raw HTML the way God intended, basically. So what we can do in here is I can just say, okay, I want to grab the form data from my request because we're using form actions. I want to set my schema. I'm using this little package called Zod form data. I have a video on this, which I'll link below. We can go ahead right here and just say the field we want to get is going to be, we just need the image ID. So we just need the image ID because if we check on our data model over here, our, where is it? There it is. So our product image right here, actually no, let's say it's Cloudinary ID. So our primary key here is Cloudinary ID, and then all we're going to be doing is we're just going to be updating the product image where the Cloudinary ID is equal to what we pass in, and we're going to set it to be primary. Simple enough. So we go ahead and do this. We'll go back over here. We're going to say, let's just say this is actually Cloudinary ID. So we're using Cloudinary for our image service because I don't feel like setting all that stuff up myself, and they have a great service for it. So we're going to go ahead, we have Cloudinary for this, then we're going to go ahead and say, all right, let's update our database entries. We'll do await db dot update. We're using Drizzle, of course. And the table we're going to be updating is product image. And then we're going to go ahead and say set. We want to set is primary to be true. And then we're going to go ahead and set, what's it called? And then we're going to say where equals the product image, the column that we want to use is Cloudinary ID, and then we're going to say res.data.cloudinary ID. Perfect. So we update our guy here. We're just going to do return success is true. All right, cool. So now that we have this, we can update our one image, but we also need to make sure that we unmark all the other images as primary. So product images are attached to a product. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say db.update. We're going to update the product images again. And then this time we're going to set is primary to false. So we're just going to set all of the other images to be false. So we don't have to worry about any like logic checking on if we're setting the same one over and over again, it's idempotent. So we can just set it over and over and over again. I'll check in editing if I used that word correctly. I think I did. So we'll do this. But instead of saying .cloudNary we want to say product ID. And then here, since we are in the scope, remember I said over here, we have my first product because this is a nested page deep within a bunch of layouts and shit. We can say params, and we can grab from params.product ID. So now we can unset all of the primary images for this product, set a new primary image for this product, and then return success equals true. So there we go. We have our endpoint set and ready, and now we need to set up the front end. So here you can really see the benefits of using SvelteKit. So you can see in here, I have these two functions already, handle submit, which is the upload function, and then I have handle delete, which is the current delete function. We're going to need to create another one of these, which is going to be async function handle mark primary. So we want to handle mark primary. We're going to go ahead and say, okay, the cloudNary ID. A cloudNary ID and image ID are like the same thing. I just write a lot of code at 2 a.m. and I don't think that hard about my naming at the time. This should be the cloudNary ID. Then we're going to go ahead and say, okay, we need to attach some form data here because we're using form actions. We're actually kind of hijacking them a little bit here. I'll show you in other videos in the deep dive how you use form actions the normal way. But here we're sort of like hijacking them into some fetch requests and doing some fancy stuff with progressive enhancement to make all this work. But that's because we have a very weird UI that has to handle some very weird situations. So I'll explain all this later. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and say const form data equals new form data. And then we're going to say form data dot append cloudNary ID. And then it's going to be the cloudNary ID that we passed in here. And then we're just going to say, I'm just going to copy paste this because this has all of it already. We go ahead and do this. We're going to say bang. So our response is going to be await fetch and then images. So that's the path we're going to here. Then this question mark at the end, this is for the named form action route. You can I'll link the docs below. But basically what we do in here is we can just say which one of these form actions we want to fire here. And I want to fire the mark primary. So we're going to say, okay, let's do mark primary. Awesome. So now we can go ahead and just post. So we can go ahead and mark that as primary, method post, body of form data, result is this. Great, great, great. Now, basically, I'm just copying all this stuff down here because it just works. So we can go ahead and say, okay, so our result is we're going to deserialize what comes in. So that's just going to get us like our action result here. And then we can go ahead and invalidate all, which is just going to rerun the load function, which if you remember over here is going to just get us all of our images. So we get all of our images, all of our image data, and we'll rerun that. So we can just do this right in here. We'll go here and paste, and there we go. All right, there we go. So we now have our handle mark primary. So now all we need to do is update our actual UI. So if you remember over here, I have like, you just can click on the image and delete it. I think I want to change this to be something a little different. So we're going to go to ShadCN Svelte, which is my personal crutch for making UIs that are not dog shit because I'm terrible at UI design and work and that kind of thing. So this really helps me make stuff actually work. So what's going to be a good thing that we can do here? No, let's not use that one. Dialogue, no. Drop down menu, maybe. Hover card, no. What did I use in that other one? I kind of liked that. Not alert dialogue, button, badge. Context menu, was it? What was it? It was in the sizes, I think. Yeah. What did we use? Drop down menu? Okay, yeah, let's use drop down menu. Okay, sure. Close this. Okay, so yeah, so we're going to go ahead and use a drop-down menu from ShadCN. So you can see what it'll do is it'll give us access to all this stuff. We obviously don't need all this. So what we're going to do is, yeah, this should be enough. I'm just going to copy this first over here. We're going to add this to our import up top. Then we're going to go ahead down here within our drop-down menu.root, and we are going to go ahead and put this right inside of our div. So we're going to say drop-down menu root here, and we're going to say, we're going to comment this button out, and then we're going to go ahead and do, our trigger is going to be, it's not going to have anything in here, but what we are going to do is we're going to give it a class. We're going to say width full, height full, absolute, top 0, left 0, and then, yeah, actually, let me just yank this guy real quick and paste him. Okay, so yeah, so that's our trigger in here. We have all this stuff. And then let's just say manage, we'll add that in there. So we have this. So now if we go back to our e-commerce, manage, click it, perfect. We have this drop down. So we're going to do set our label to be manage image. And we're going to say, let's give this a little icon too. So we're using Lucide for our icons. So let's just say like manage. Is there something for that in there? Sure, this looks good. Folder Kanban. So we're gonna do folder can. Yep, that'll work. So we scroll back down here. Let's go ahead and drop that guy in here. We'll do folder can. So our class is just gonna be width 4, height 4, mr-2. Cool. So now if we go back over to this guy, we hover, yeah, we can manage him. I mean, it's not the most pretty UI in the world, but this will work. So now we click on this, we can manage our image, profile, billing, team, subscription. Obviously, we don't want any of those right now. We are going to go ahead and change this. So we're going to delete these two, and we are going to set this to instead be set primary, and we're going to go ahead and do delete. We'll add icons for those at the end here. Now, if you remember back over here, I had this on click where we were just deleting our image. So we're just going to put this in here, delete image on click. So let's just make sure that's still working. We're going to go ahead and say upload. Upload looks terrible. Why did I do this? Hit delete. It's gone. Perfect. So now we're going to do the same thing just with setting it to be primary. So let's go ahead and just add our on click handler here. We're going to do just a function, and we're going to do handle mark primary, and that's going to be our image dot cloudinary ID. Bang, that's it. So now, actually, let's add trash into here because I have it already. Bop. So we're going to set this guy to have the trash can. We can delete this button. Trash needs to be imported from Lucide. And now we should have everything we need to go ahead and mark one of these as primary. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's set this guy to be primary. It's not going to have any response to that because I don't have any UI for it. We'll do that in a second here. But we're going to go back over here to our Drizzle Studio and just make sure our backend call worked. So if we go to our product image and we look at my first product and this guy right here, yep, that's the right one that I was thinking of. Is primary, is true. Perfect. It works. We were able to set him as primary. If we go back over here, we manage this guy, set him to be primary, go to our Drizzle Studio, refresh, bang. This is now the primary. Everything works. So now that we have a primary image set right here, let's go ahead and actually make the UI reflect this correctly. So when we're pulling this data down, we want to pull it down in order. So we could do like a client-side check and like make the primary looks different, which we will, but we need to sort it so that the primary comes first every time, I think. And I think the best place to do that is going to be server side. So we're going to go in here and we're going to go ahead and say, let's see, how do we want to do this? What's the most efficient way to move one entry to the front of an array? I bet that there is some array manipulation function in here that I could use, but I don't know what it is off the top of my head. And instead of using ChatGPT, I'm going to bait engagement and have you guys comment and tell me what it is. So for now, we're going to do const non-primary, and then we're going to do, what's our images going to look like in here? product ID. So this is the type. So it's a type of this shit. We're gonna grab this. Non-primary is going to be this equals bop. So, what are you yelling about here? Yeah, okay, good. So it's just yelling at me for that. So this is non-primary, and then this is going to be primary. Perfect. So then now what we can do is we can just do for images dot, oh my god, I cannot type, for each, and then we're going to say image, and then we're going to do this, say if image dot is primary, we're going to do non-primary dot push, and then it's going to be image, and then else we're going to do, oh, I'm a moron, it's primary, and then we're going to do non-primary dot push image. Perfect. And then now at the end, we're just going to return images, and that's just going to be this, and we're going to reset this to be dot 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 of primary, and then dot 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 non-primary. Beautiful. I think that should work. And now that we've done this, this is already the primary, so that should work, but now when we set him to be primary, he goes up front. Beautiful. So it's just setting these to be primary and he goes up front. And then I think what we want to do is we want to go ahead to our UI and reflect this somehow. And we're going to go ahead and say so we are doing image. Let's grab the index here as well, because we can get a second parameter out here. And then we're going to add to our div right here. We're going to make this into some script nonsense. So we do this, bop. We're going to go back over here. We're going to say bop. And then we're going to go ahead and do I is equal to 0. And if it is equal to 0, then we're going to go ahead and do border -2. And then we're going to say if there is a border, border dash yellow dash 600. Give it a little gold border, you know, something cute. So there we go. So that's our primary image. That's kind of ugly. Maybe should we make it like blue, and then instead of border 2, it's like border 4. Maybe black instead, because that still looks really tacky. Black. But you can't see it. I mean, if we set him to be primary, maybe it's white. I don't know. This guy's is why you can't trust me with UIs. Like, I don't know. Set primary, it works. Yeah, good enough. Whatever. And then one more thing. Yep, crown. That's what I was looking for. We're gonna do crown, and then we're gonna go all the way back down to here, grab our trash, and then put this here, and then replace it with crown. And delete that line, save, and then now when we go back to our site, set primary or delete. Set primary, bang, bang. And then as a little bonus here, I guess what we can do is I can show you guys how we set this up for these as well. So if we go to our products/page.svelte, yep, root here. We actually want the page.server. So I'm fetching all of the products. I think actually wait, can I, with images, can I do an order by in here? Wait. We might be up to something in here. Order by. Wait. I might be up to some shit. Ascendant, and then it's going to be product image dot is primary. Can we do that? Oh wait, that's fetching one product. Aha, it does work. And then now if we, because it should be the primary, let's go ahead and duplicate you, and let's go over here to admin products. This is a work in progress, just so you know, in case that wasn't incredibly obvious. So this is demo stripe product. Okay, so we edit him. So aha, okay, so instead of ascending, we want this to actually be descending. No. Drizzle ORM, we want descending. We're going to go ahead and yell at you. Stop it. Bang. Okay. So now we go over to back to our products page, and that's the primary. Beautiful. So we go back over here. We're going to make you primary. We're going to go back over to this page, refresh. Bang, it works. Okay, sick. So then now we can go ahead and just add this over to fetch all products. I'll do this. Bang. And then now if we go back to all of our products, it will load and it works. So now we can go ahead and unstupid our admin page, admin/products. Holy hell, okay, you know what? I'll give you one caveat for SvelteKit. This sucks a lot. Like, I like what I get out of it, but man, oh man, this is like, there's a lot of page.sveltes. Okay, so we don't need to do any of this garbage. None of this gooberism. We're just going to do this, get rid of all of you, and then we're going to go up here. We're going to add a .order by, and we're going to do descending, and it's going to be product image dot is primary. Gang. Okay. So now that we've done that, we go over here and we go back to our admin page. We refresh. Okay, that's still the primary. Set you to be primary. Okay, perfect. So that's it. We have gone ahead and implemented the primary image functionality. We go back over to this page. We refresh it. That's now our primary image. That's our primary image. Perfect. Perfect. It works. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it works. And we've still got a ways to go in here. But hopefully that shows you guys just how freaking good SvelteKit is. The load functions, the actions, the way all of it hooks together, it's just a damn good framework to work with. And I highly, highly recommend that you guys give it a shot. I might do a like top 5 favorite things about SvelteKit video at some point. That might be valuable. But if you enjoyed this and got this far, make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you guys later.